can't believe I'm getting to speak with you again. We spoke when I first started, so thank you for doing this again.
Oh, I didn't know that was when you first started.
No,
Yay.
it was like you were like one of my first. It was crazy. So it's crazy to be talking to you again and
Great.
about the show, which I'm so excited about.
Me too.
It's great, and your performance is fantastic. So that's kind of where I want to start. What was your favorite part of portraying Sandy?
Honestly, it was getting to work with Zoe. I was so impressed with the scripts and that like Zoe had written all seven of them, starring in it and directing it. And my first day on set, I was just so impressed with her chillness and because I wouldn't be like that if I was in that position. So it was that, but then also like my character Sandy is in a relationship with May, Zoe's character. So the fact that I got to, I mean, we have a pretty amazing would I call it a sex scene? I'd call it the hottest thing that's ever happened in a bathroom. So I was really into that.
The story is such an interesting one. What stood out to you about it? Like, I imagine getting that script and seeing where it was going to go. What was your reaction?
It's just so smart and it's so relatable, I think, too. I've been married before and it's always that like grass is greener. You always think, even when May's relationship is good, you always wonder what else the other life could have been. I think that's why I became an actor. I am not satisfied with this one life and I always want to know what it's like in some other circumstance. And so I thought that was so smart. But then adding the layer that her pussy is the portal, like, you win, Zoe. That's amazing.
Right? Come on. I mean, were there any challenges that were unique to you about this project? I imagine like every experience is different and it probably teaches you something different acting wise.
You know what's so sad? I'm actually going to say the honest thing that was for me the challenge on this project was that I had just had my hair cut for the first time since like long for decades, all my life. And I just had my hair cut short. And no one tells you that short hair is really difficult. This is a terrible thing to say that was difficult but it was. I just, for a second, didn't know who I was anymore. But then it also like kind of turned into such a great thing for this part because it let me really go into Sandy in a way that, sometimes a haircut does it.
And what are you most excited for fans to see from the show? I mean, you're killing it right now. You have so many good things coming out. Like I'm watching, I'm supporting, and it's like I'm so excited for fans to see this, but you have so much coming out.
Thank you. I'm really excited about this because I think it's a character I haven't played before. Honestly, it was a really different role for me in the way that Zoe directed me in doing it, which I'm so grateful for. She just had me, I don't even know how to explain it, so people are just gonna have to watch, but just had me do some more nuanced things that were more internal and authentic. And yeah, I loved being directed by her, and I loved this part to also get to like do sex stuff with Zoe.
Yeah.
on,
I mean, come on. Be honest.
on screen, like professionally, not, but yeah, she's amazing and hot and all that.
Like I kind of said, the story is such an interesting one. Did you personally take anything away from it? I know you talked about how being an actor, you get to live so many different lives. And I always kind of take something away from the characters I watch or the story, anything like
Yeah.
that.
Me too. It reminded me that I am correct in my feeling that I don't want children. So
You were my favorite person to speak with.
just being honest. Yeah.
The comedy genre. I mean, first of all, I fell in love with you at Schitt's Creek, but I've gotten to see you grow and do horror like we last spoke about. But now getting back into the comedy, I'm curious, as a fan or an actor, what is your favorite part of that? I mean, I feel like without comedy, sometimes we'd all be a little lost.
Well, I do love the kind of comedy that is in Slip and in stuff that isn't just like jokes. It's just
Yeah.
real life comedy. Um, and I guess my favorite part of doing that is always, I feel like it's more an environment conducive to improv sometimes and being a lot freer in the sense that like I do this other show called The Rig and I'm a scientist, and you know what you can't improvise is science. So and I tried. I'm also a geologist. You can't improvise when the earth was formed.
Those
So,
terms.
yeah, so I do like the freedom in comedy to go as crazy as possible in kind of trying different stuff.
You
That's fun.
you mentioned improv, and I have to ask about it because I love hearing about improv. Is there a moment that you added in and then we're just so excited to see kind of thrown in and confirmed and put in the final version?
Oh, this will sound kind of like I feel like that happens to me all the time. But I do feel like I am always kind of, I do, yeah, there's been a lot of those. I can't remember with Slip, but yeah, I'll have to think of, I can't think of one off the top of my head because there are so many.
So many. Yeah. Well, that's kind of so much fun to like. I feel like watching the final version of an episode or a show, it must be so funny to see what was kept in.
Oh, yeah, yeah. What's funny though is that in Schitt's Creek we didn't do a lot of improv at all, like
Really?
hardly ever. And most people think we did, but that was very scripted.
That's very
Mhm.
interesting. I'm gonna try to figure out the improv parts and we'll have to
Well,
figure
now I'm gonna find them and I'm gonna DM you, okay? Because I want you to see all the things I'm proud made the cut.
it. Yes. And do you have a favorite filming memory? I know that's probably very hard because it was probably a very fun set, but when you look back on the experience, is there any moments that stick out for you?
Okay, so you're gonna say like aside from the bathroom scene, because that aside from the bathroom scene,
Aside from the bathroom scene.
um I would say the birthday party at the park, because Zoe directing the kids was so funny because some kids just they're gonna do what they want to do. And there was this one kid who was like, he's like, I know what I'm doing. And she tell him to do something. He's like, I know.
You can't direct kids.
No, like cats.
Imagine.
That was fun. And again, it reminds me why I don't want kids.
If you get to take anything home from set, I feel like if I was an actor, I'd have to take something from
Oh
every
my
set.
God, I take everything home from most sets. Honestly, the only reason why I didn't take anything home from Slip was because I was doing another movie at the time, and I remember just every moment I was able to be there was very precious in shooting, and then had to go to the other one. But normally I do. I think though I did take one, but it's used now. Like I had a pizza tattoo that the makeup artist had made that was a copy of hers, Jess Panetta, who I'd worked with on another movie, and she had a pizza tattoo, and I said, I want that tattoo, and she copied it, and so she gave me a couple of copies of the tattoo. But I used them, so I don't have them anymore.
You need to get more. You need to get
Yes.
more.
But usually I like to take like a prop, like Shits,
Yeah.
I took everything, but also a giant deer painting. Like Chapel Wait, I'm still waiting for this because they might be going into another season, so they might need it. And they said it's on hold for me, but I wanted one of the big paintings. I like to take big paintings.
You have to make like a whole set room,
I know.
movie room,
I need like
children's
a
day.
house for those. Yeah.
Lastly, I want to just ask you about what you just said about kind of balancing two projects at once. What was that like for you to kind of step into two different roles? And how was that? I feel like that must have been so exciting.
Well, I feel like it's something I've gotten pretty used to doing. Like when I was doing Shits, I was doing another show called 12 Monkeys at the same time. And I was allowed to do that because they would never overlap. But then at the last season, they overlapped. So I would do Shits during the day and 12 Monkeys at night. And I got very good at sleeping in vans. Like the minute I get in a car, a van now, an Uber, I'm out. But I normally don't like to multitask. I'm really like to dive into one thing. However, I have a hard time saying no to great stuff. So and I've been lucky since Shits to have great opportunities. So I'm just trying to do as much as I can.
Emily, thank you so much. Like I said in the beginning, you were one of the first interviews I ever got to do as a journalist. And it was such a dream for me to speak with you and to get to continue to speak to you.
I love this.
Yeah. So really, thank you.
So great to talk to you again.
So great to talk to you.
Professional artists and professors. Maybe a nerd who's just like you, talking about the things that you like too. So I invite you to the NOC. In full color, you see me. The hard knock life. Comics, movies, and TV. Yeah. Pop culture with a different perspective. Watch it on your screen, hit play, so check this.